Shalom, call all y'all about Shin Shah. Shalom to the elect. Now, in this video right here, I just want to go in on how it seems like every day now, every week, and every month, you've been seeing prophecy being fulfilled on a high level. Now, these Edomites, they see all this stuff going on in the world, and I'm sure they have people that know about biblical texts, different scholars and so-called different people, and then ultimately they watch some of these videos to be uploaded too. At the same time, that's why the views and stuff begin manipulated. But now they want to hide out in these rocks and shit. And in this video, this guy, his channel is The Real BP Earthwatch, and it's talking about basically in these different articles what they got going on. So I'm gonna let it play, and I'm gonna pull a few precepts. And Lord's willing, this be edifying.
I guess you have the option to turn around, but if you're going to stay in the States, it's quarantine 14 days. Also in Florida, if you fly into an airport from, I know, New York, you'll meet greeted by the National Guard, also quarantine. Now, coming out of Louisiana and 10, or really the entire Louisiana, Texas border is now being controlled by the Texas Highway Patrol. They're trying to contain the flow of traffic out of Louisiana because, again, the hotspot. Same thing as Florida. Now, you've got Arkansas north of Louisiana. You've got Mississippi east, and Tennessee north also, and Oklahoma just to the northwest. So how would that affect the lockdown there? In other words, we're getting sections of major interstates shut down across this country right now. We're talking about less than 3,000 deaths here in the U.S. from the virus. A lot more than that from flu. Now, I know from the reports that I've heard, it's a pretty rough deal. And last year's coronavirus, it wasn't the novel Wuhan COVID-19, but it was rough. But anyway, you got... again, Interstate 10 is checkpoints now at the Florida-Alabama line, Louisiana-Texas line, and if you think about Interstate 20 that comes out of Jackson, Mississippi, it moves from the east coast to the west and it goes through Louisiana at Vicksburg and comes out near Shreveport and Bossier City there into Texas. That's being shut down too. As far as it's roadblocks and checkpoints. It's not totally shut down, but they are moving at the major intersections now. And remember, just it was less than a month ago, we were watching videos where the military was setting up in the National Guard to do various tests and lost weapons.
Hey, and this right here goes into the scripture in the book of Ezra, and it says, men should desire to go into another city and should not be able to, because all these little interceptions and roadblocks and checkpoints, that's exactly what it's talking about. And eventually, we're really going to get locked down, because people still can travel, catch flights, and so on and so on, travel by train or bus or whatever. Hey, it's going to come a time where going from city to city, shit ain't going to be happening.
I guess some other places. And now, I'm not saying anything nefarious is going on with it, but it is now reality. Also, what's interesting is the folks that from the Department of Homeland Security and in the military that handle national security are all now being locked down.
And then this title right here says the end of the American Dream blog. Now, right here, you got the day of reckoning right here in the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, right before you get to verse 6, which in certain Bibles will have the titles and different stuff like that above the scriptures also. Now, let's go into this word reckoning. All right, reckoning says the action or process of calculating or estimating something, a person's view, opinion, or judgment, or bill or account, or a settlement. And I'm going to go down some more into it. We got some more translations. This the main one I wanted to look for because these other ones is just derivatives of it. It says the avenging or punishing of past mistakes or misdeeds. So hey, the day of reckoning is coming right now. Actually, we living in the day of reckoning. Nah, the scriptures also say in the book of Peter, a day of the Lord is 1,000 years of man, and 1,000 years of man, and one day with the Lord. So hey, these years that's been playing out, it's been the day of reckoning. Now I'm gonna read on in the scripture right here, and I'm gonna just go down and bring out some more precepts too. Also, it's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 6. It says, "Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and our soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers," which you have going on, like with the magicians and the magi's, tarot card readings, and all that different stuff. You got women turning into witches. Niggas want to be wizards and all type of other little shit. Now, verse 7 it says, "Their land also is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land is also full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made." It says, verse 9, it says, "And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. Enter into the rock, and hide thee in the dust, for the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled," what you see going on now. It says, "And the haughtiness of man shall be bowed down, and the Lord Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day." And that's what's going to happen, because people going to be questioning, asking mainly the men of the Lord what's really going on. And the men of the Lord are going to actually be able to let you know exactly what's going on. Because we've been letting people know anyway, but they ain't want to listen. When all hell break loose, then people going to listen. They're going to speak plainly. They're going to come with understanding. Now, verse 12 it says, "For the day of the Lord Yahweh of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low, and upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pitches. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and the Lord Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols he shall utterly abolish." And that's what's gonna happen. People got these idols, statue of the Virgin Mary. You got Cesare Borgia, a Serapis Christmas in their house, because that ain't how Yahweh shall look anyway. And the scriptures clearly tell you how you look if you actually read it. All these different little idols and statues that people worship, these altars that they set up, they're gonna see that shit ain't helping them. It ain't working. I'm gonna let this play some more. I'm gonna keep on reading.
That over in Colorado down at Cheyenne Mountain. Let's take a look at that. Now, what's happening? U.S. military command teams in charge of protecting Homeland Security are being isolated in the infamous Cheyenne Mountain bunker, where they will remain sealed off until the coronavirus pandemic passes.
All right, now let me finish reading on with this. It says in verse 19 in the book of Isaiah, it says, "And they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for the fear of the Lord Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats." It says in verse 21, it says to go into the cliffs of the rock and into the tops of the ragged rocks for the fear of the Lord Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? Now, let me read some more into this DHS military shit. Now, you read on some more. It says military teams that monitor foreign missiles, they're gonna missiles, them arrows. It says, and warplane threats to the United States are isolated at a number of military sites, including Cheyenne Mountain. Because these other countries, they know who cooked up this fucking virus shit, too. They know who behind this stuff. So it's just going to be a matter of time when more shit start popping up. Now it says, the Cold War era bunker is located in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which you had a lot of people bringing out videos talking about the airport in Colorado and Denver. They were saying it was a bunker and how deep it could go underground, and you gotta have a certain clearance to get to a certain level and all this other stuff. Well, hey, they was right. That's what these people hiding at over there in that region over there. And you know they got tunnels and shit to connect to each other, underground trains and all type of shit like that. Now, reading on some more says the command took such steps to ensure personnel can monitor the COVID-19 pandemic around the clock as the disease spreads around the world. While they sitting up underground, says the military are not immune from the disease, and such is the nervousness. Those working at the bunker have prepared to seal themselves off for months. Should the staff working at the bunker become ill, there's a third team of high-ranking military officials working another secret location. The Navy revealed they saw several cases appear among the crew of its Nimitz-class aircraft carriers based in the Pacific. Now, we'll go to another scripture real quick. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 16. But I'm going to start at verse 15. But let me run back just a little bit more at verse 14. Now, keep in mind they're talking about the first thing it mentioned. It ain't mentioned nothing about no virus stuff. It goes down and talk about the virus. That's just deployed right now. But the main thing that was the top part said military teams that monitor foreign missile and warplane threats to the United States are isolated at a number of military sites, including Cheyenne Mountain. It ain't say they isolated because of this virus shit they got that's going on or whatever. This is the reason why they isolated right here. It's in the book of Revelation chapter 6, verse 14. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island will move out of the places, which goes into the scripture when it says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. And what's going to make the earth move like that is the missiles. You got missiles dropping all over the damn place, mainly the U.S. Stuff going to be shook up. Certain islands going to disappear because of that ocean going to overtake that island. Certain cities going to disappear because certain lakes going to overtake that. Certain other areas going to disappear, and then new areas going to appear too as well. Now reading on some more, it says, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Oh, better yet, Salaki, I'll skip the verse. Now verse 15 it says, and the kings of the earth, and the great man, and the rich man, and the chief captains, who hide down here in these little bunkers down here, military teams, the chief captains, the lieutenants, or whoever else down there. It said the chief captains and the mighty men, which mighty man goes into men of war. It says, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Because you got actually doomsday preppers and stuff too, because it ain't just these elites. You got actual people that's been prepping and hiding out in the woods or building themselves little bunkers and all this other little stuff because they know it's about to come. It says, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. It said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who should be able to stand? Who should be able to stand? The elect gonna be able to stand. Hey, but everybody, if you ain't know that number, man, that's a serious junk right there. I'm gonna go let this play just a little bit more and see what else I can pull from out of it.
Military teams that monitor foreign missile and warplane threats. The U.S. isolated a number of military sites, including Cheyenne Mountain. The Cold War era bunker is located in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The command took such steps to ensure personnel can monitor the COVID-19 pandemic around the clock as the disease spreads around the world. The military are not immune from the disease, and such is the nervousness that working at that bunker have prepared to seal themselves off for months. Your family's not in there, as it doesn't matter. But one of the things that the general said was his concern was a lot more people want to get in than he knows if he can handle it. It also,
Let's skip that a little bit.
and this is a picture of Terrence O'Shaughnessy's head of U.S. Northern Command under morale. He's the one that said he was concerned that more people went in than it may possibly could handle. NORTHCOM and NORAD's personnel are now in isolation, and those working there will likely not see the families again for some time, with COVID-19 expected to be around for months, if not years. This is a marathon, not a sprint, General O'Shaughnessy said during the town hall. It's on Facebook. Despite being isolated in location, the Pentagon have said that other military members will not be permitted to enter the Cheyenne Mountain bunker for fear of COVID-19 penetrating the complex, where it could be rapidly.
Hey, and these Edomites, they're going to start turning on each other even more, too, because they don't have the ones that's down there just hiding out. And the ones on the surface, they're going to be mad because they can't get down there and hide out with them. Hey, like the scriptures say, yeah, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And that's what you see going on right now. These devils, they can't stand. That's why they hiding out in these fucking rocks.
Prayer. It would doubtless lead to both inconvenient and a costly period of time when the entire site would have to be decontaminated. The NORAD base lies behind 23-ton blast building and is arguably the most secure place on Earth. The war of tunnels that blasted out of Colorado grounded in the 1960s and now teeming with high-tech surveillance and monitoring equipment.
All right, and I'm going to pause that right there. I just want to bring this out. I'm going to just end this off with this scripture. Because even though they hiding down there and all this other shit, they think they're going to escape and all this stuff. Hey, they just hiding out and harboring all that gold and the goods and stuff for the elect, man. So, let me read this. This book of Amos, chapter 9. Verse 2 says, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Because they ain't just hiding in the bunkers, too. They hiding up out of space, too. With their little space hotels and all that shit. In verse 3 it says, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. Though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And these Edomites, man, they hiding out. Well, you can't hide from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So, Lord's willing, this is edifying. Call out Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom to the elect.